This is the Temple of Geek Cosplay Connection.
Your inside connection to the world of cosplay.
Hey guys, it's Emily with Temple of Geek. I am here at LA Comic-Con with Jade, who is cosplaying. Tell me you're cosplaying?
I'm Domino from Deadpool 2.
Awesome, very exciting. So there are some women who will say, I'm too afraid to be this character because my body doesn't fit that. Have you ever had any experiences like that?
Oh yes, like completely all the time. I cosplay mostly like very strong, very silent type characters, but personally, I am a person who smiles all the time. And also, I'm a very curvy woman. I have very top heavy, very bottom heavy. And most of those women who are that athletic have more of like a svelte, like very up and down kind of shape. So sometimes I like to try and contour my body to it, but most of the time I like to embrace my curves because there's not that much hiding it. So I might as well just embrace it.
I love it. Thank you so much for that answer. Any advice for women who want to cosplay a character that they might not feel like they fit?
I feel like the most important part of cosplay is like getting the key elements of that cosplay. So let's say for like Wonder Woman, she has the red, the white, the blue, the little tiara. But other than that, you can make it whatever you want. So if you don't feel like wearing a corset, you can probably wear a tank top. You don't have the black hair, as long as you have the tiara, you're good. So as long as you have those key elements, people will recognize you, know it's a cosplay, and it's still cosplay. It's just your own twist on it. So, best way.
I love it. Thank you. Anything else you want to add about cosplaying, body positivity, the community, perhaps that maybe at a convention specifically that it creates that you love about it?
Okay, there's two things. There's one that's positive and one that's negative. So let's start with the positive first, though. First positive thing is that I feel like the cosplay community, especially in conventions, is so positive whenever you're seeing another character and you're just like, wow, I love your character, you're doing an amazing job. Or they ask you about your prop or your costume, and I think that's amazing. And we should do that more, especially for people who feel or look outwardly like they're uncomfortable. So that's what I would suggest at a convention, and look for that. But on the negative side, we also have to be aware of those people who want to take advantage of if you're in a revealing cosplay or you are not feeling the best at the time, and make sure that those people aren't going to affect your con experience, and make sure that that is only a little part of the con experience. It's not the entire thing, so don't let that turn you off into conventions.
I love it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Enjoy the rest of your con.
You too.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
I am here with Rachel, and who are you cosplaying today?
I'm cosplaying as Zatanna.
That's wonderful. What drew you to that character, or what draws you to different cosplays in general?
I think for me, it's characters that have a specific sort of personality that I can relate to. I love characters that are very strong and powerful, especially when you're looking for a feminine kind of role model. I think it's important to find that kind of little thing about them. And Zatanna, for example, you know, she pretty much had to grow into her own powers and really learn about herself. And she's kind of misunderstood, and I love characters that are misunderstood because I feel like I'm misunderstood. So characters that give me empowerment, characters that make me feel good, and characters in general that, you know, even if they're male, I gender bend them because they make me feel like I can relate to them.
Awesome. Will you talk a little bit more about gender bending? What is appealing to you about gender bending, or where do you think it has a place in the con environment or even just in the cosplay world or fandom?
I think gender bending is a creative take on it. It's definitely going outside and thinking outside the box, more to speak. And for me as a female cosplayer, you know, there's limited numbers of characters that are female, which in comics especially, it's very hard to find a lot of those. And for gender bending characters from male to female is just another take. It's accepting that, hey, just because I'm female, I can take a male character, and it's the same way. Like, I've seen guys gender bend female characters, which is really badass. And, you know, everything is just, it's intertwined. Cosplay should not have a limit. Your creativity is limitless.
What a fantastic answer. Thank you for that. Just what you mentioned about women being a female cosplayer and gender bending and all of that, what do you think kind of the culture of these traditional standards of beauty and being a female cosplayer, does that ever make you feel uncomfortable, or has it? Or what do you have to say to people who maybe have felt uncomfortable?
I think if it's a character you love and a character you can relate to, cosplay it. It doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter what your size is, doesn't matter what you look like, just go for it. As a female cosplayer, I know there's a lot of things that go borderline of like it's too sexy, or you're asking for something that's bad. But that's when cosplay as consent really comes into play, where just because these characters are done a certain way, if you're uncomfortable having like really short shorts, then wear something to your comfort. That's what cosplay really is about. And as cosplayers, we get harassed, and it really is a matter of we have to be good about this isn't something sexualized. This is a character we love, and having that respect in the community is very, very important. But as far as like body image, I think anyone should be able to cosplay who they want to cosplay, how they want to cosplay it, with all respect and all understanding that this is their creative outlet, that this is what they want to do, and no one should be judged for that. It should be respected because this is a community that is accepting and welcoming of everything.
Wonderful, thank you so much. You mentioned briefly cosplay and consent. Do you think the culture at cons needs to change with regard to that?
It definitely does have to change. There's a lot of people that don't understand that just because someone is cosplaying someone that's sexy, that it warrants and allows you to, go ahead and just hit on them and whatnot. But that's not always wanted. That's not what we're cosplaying for. Some people want that attention, but most of the time we're doing this for fun. This is our hobby. We don't want to go out and get hit on and, inappropriately touched. Those are things, even outside of the cosplay scene, these are just things that we as human beings should be able to respect, understand, and practice consistently.
Well, thank you so much. That was a great interview. Enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you.
I am here with Ray, and who are you cosplaying today?
I'm Ray, who cosplays Ray.
Fantastic. Any advice for someone who is starting just to begin cosplaying?
Sure, I think that the most important thing is to pick the character that inspires you, because then you'll have the motivation to start and to finish, and then plan the budget, because usually cosplays turn out to be very pricey and more than you initially expected, so that's another important thing.
Do you make your own costumes?
Mostly, yeah. But I always like to collaborate, so if I know somebody who's amazing at some particular skill, then I'd rather have them make it for me. And I'll do something for them in exchange.
Any tools that you need in making cosplay? Anything you absolutely couldn't live without?
Well, my favorite ones are probably paints, because I love to paint, and it's weathering props, all kinds of things, like this staff, for example. But everybody can pick whatever they like. There are a lot of specialties in cosplay.
Any final words of advice?
Just do it!
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks.
I'm here with Mark, and who are you cosplaying today?
Hi, I'm cosplaying as Gundam Unicorn.
Thank you. Clearly a very intricate costume. How do you know where to start with something like this?
Well, normally we go back to like the basic design of the original Gundam, and then we just kind of build as each year goes by. Usually we'll use like the same parts over and over again, and we'll just maybe change the helmet, change the backpack, repaint it. It's more like a recycling / what else can I add to this kind of process.
Awesome, thank you. Where do you start with something like this? What tools do you need? What is absolutely essential?
Okay, well, first thing is geometry, of course. You need to know how to fold something. Okay, maybe I can fold it if I do this, or hey, this helmet looks good, maybe I could try that. And then maybe you buy a certain Gundam kit that you like, and I say, okay, it's really complicated, but maybe I can just wing it and just make like the biggest piece possible, and then I'll just paint in the details later.
Wow, very impressive. Advice for anyone who's just looking to get started in costumes as intricate and as beautifully done as this one?
Take it slow, be patient. Try to make sure you don't go over the top. I've seen a lot of Gundam cosplayers go too hard into detail to where they make the scale completely wrong. Just make the scale to your body, make sure you can walk in it, make sure it's not too hot, and make sure if there's an emergency you can take it off on your own, or take off like majority of the pieces, because I have my parents here with me today, and it's like a 3-person team to remove it. But if I have to, I can at least remove like the backpack or my helmet in case I overheat.
Very best thing about something as intricate as this.
The best thing is you can kind of go incognito. If you're sort of like an introvert and you don't really feel ready to show your face off, you can do this and still feel proud that, yes, I accomplished something, or I helped make something like this and it's gained some recognition. Even though we're not getting paid for it, it's a good hobby. And in reality, this actually helps you realize how good your health is, because if you look how much gear I'm carrying, this weighs about 60 pounds. It's light on its own, but when it's pulling on you, it feels like 60 pounds. So I had to go to the gym, and that's one of the best things for it for me. I get my exercise out of it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your con.
Thank you.
Like this video? Go ahead and hit that like button, and while you're there, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos that are released by Temple of Geek. Also, head over to templeofgeek.com to find all sorts of content related to the world of geek.